Hi folks, in this video we're going to show you how to set up the default settings in Campaign Manager. I go to the configuration page here and the default setting page is loaded. I can specify here an email address for admin information and just edit that email account. The actual email transmission and settings for the SMTP location and password is all configured in the Mitel communication service user interface. I'm now going to set the region code, and this takes account now of the regions and time zones appropriate for your location. I can check this box here that permits me to dial internationally. And it will pay attention to the area codes when it's making outbound calls if I do that. And here is the default no answer timer when I create a new campaign. So each time I create a new campaign, it will take this as the default no answer timer configured in the campaign. This checkbox here enables me to set an offset of timing. So in the UK, all mobile numbers commence 07, and consequently it's possible to insert, in this case, an additional 3 seconds of no answer time to give the network time to set up the call. This maximum call attempts default here, if you're making outbound calls and you call the same number 10 times without success, the wisdom is that calling it the 11th time is not going to get success either, right? So the idea here is that this will retire the record, disposition the record as max call attempts reached, and it will save you from wasting more time dialing those bad records. This checkbox here will allow you to set a default caller ID for the outbound calls. I'm just going to set one in there, 4351, how about that? This can be overridden both at campaign level or even at record level when you import records into a campaign. The priority is, first, it will use the caller ID configured against the record. If that's not populated, it will use the caller ID configured against the campaign. And if that's not populated, it will use this caller ID here. If you don't populate this caller ID, it will then revert to the caller ID configured on the endpoint on the MyVoice Office 250. This next checkbox here is about making sure that the agent ID for that user is synced with the user ID on the Campaign Manager, and this helps with reporting. So the way this works is allows you to take status information into MiContact Center Office, formerly CSM, and synchronize that with what's going on the dialer. When you do that, there's a feature to set the user into the pause state, and in this case it chooses a particular DND state. Now we've renamed this particular DND message in the PBX as pause dialer, so that it's used and available to you. And that makes it easier for visibility for supervisors using products like CSM. This checkbox here is used when the campaign has nothing to dial. It'll log the user out if you check this box so that they're not sat waiting. It is possible, if you uncheck this, to have a scenario where you drip feed calls occasionally during the day, and when that happens the dialer will kick in. But the general statement is that if there's no valid data to dial, it will log them out. You can also supplement that with just logging them out of the dialer, or checking this box and logging them out of all hunt groups that they belong to. This next setting here is setting disposition emails, sending disposition emails post-call. And that's so that once the call is completed, it's possible to send an email to update a supervisor with a particular type of outcome. Maybe if you get a sale, you would set that flag. With this box here, you can force users to disposition a call, even if their wrap-up time terminates at the end of the call. If you do this, you can send some text. I'm going to say waiting for code, and this will now be visible for a supervisor, so that if somebody just sits there without doing anything, at least it's visible to the supervisor so they know what state the user is in. This setting here for ignoring clear on ringing is around making sure that the clear button in Phone Manager does not cause the dialer to clear the call in the first 15 seconds, so that you stay compliant with government regulations. This checkbox here is designed so that if there's a callback that's due for you as a user, but at the time the callback falls due, you are logged into a different campaign, this will make the call whether or not you're logged into the right campaign at the time. This checkbox here is about calculating stats and whether or not you include auto-answered calls in the answer rate. So it's designed for making sure that we get accurate statistics. And the synonyms fields here, most people use the term right party contact, but a lot of people use the term decision maker contacts, and you can override the way that the information is presented in the user interface here. So in this case, we're going to use the term decision maker contacts to refer to getting through to the right person on a call. The other term that's used in different ways is conversion. In some cases, for example, if you're chasing cash, you may make this field say promise to pay, maybe. If you're doing telesales, then obviously the word sale makes sense. If you leave it blank, it just uses the word conversion. So I'm going to save that now, and once those settings are saved, I'm now setting up my my system-wide settings the way I want the dialer to function. Thanks for watching, folks, and there'll be more videos soon. Thank you.